Okay guys, got a little treat for you here. Went to Port Clinton, went to Jimmy Dubert up at Dubberts Outdrive. Jimmy put a new motor on for me. One of the best guys you ever meet when it comes to putting motors on. Stands by his words. Can't meet a better guy. There's not enough I can say about Jimmy Dubert. So if you ever get a chance and you're looking for a new outboard to go on your boat, a replacement of an old motor, Dubberts Outdrive up in Port Clinton, Ohio. Check it out, guys. Here we go. Hey guys, I'm up here at Dubberts. We're putting vessel view on my motor because that was, what was that, Jimmy, a promotion you guys was doing? Or?
Yeah, Mercury's running a winter promotion right now where they're giving you, you get a 2-year promotional warranty with everything, and then they give you a free vessel view mobile. Kind of makes it nice because anything that goes wrong with the engine, you're going to get an alert on your smartphone that's linked to it, and that smartphone can also send it to Mercury, which lets us know. So if you choose to do that with Vessel View Mobile, you can actually get a phone call on Mondays, hey, it's Jimmy from Dubberts. I saw you had an overheat, you need any help with that? That's kind of what they're gearing for anyway. Okay. It'll get there eventually. But they're running a promotion to make sure to get that out there. It's a nice little freebie. It's retailed at like $250.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now.
What that's how long does that promotion last for the Vessel View?
Through the end of the year right now, and then we'll have our winter boat show specials coming out from the manufacturer. They run this Vessel View promotion about once a year. Pre-COVID, when it first came out, they ran it for, normally it was a good fall promotion. Give a little warranty with it, give you a nice accessory that they're the only company that has anyway.
Yeah, just to touch on that, I was actually going to go out and buy a Vessel View, and he brought it up, being the good fella that he is. Yeah. He brought up, he's like, you get a free Vessel View with that motor. And I'm like, wow, that saves some money right there. So yeah, if you're watching that, man, you got to deal with this guy here.
Yep.
I'm from Akron. He's up here in Port Clinton at Dubberts Outdrive.
Yes.
Yeah, Dubberts Outdrive. So make sure you deal with these guys.
Well, and it's always a compliment because you're driving a long way. I mean, hell, that's a 3.5-hour round trip, I'm sure.
I would drive 4 hours to come to you.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to us.
Yeah, I mean, we talked on the phone, and his word has got more weight than gold.
Well, we did change a couple of things on you because with some of the wiring in the boat, it's worth it rather than to spend the labor to get you new parts. The new control. And then we know that you're not going to have a problem. Everything's covered, bumper to bumper warranty, so to speak, and it's a solid boat. And hell, you got hydraulic steering on it. This will be a nice safe rig for you now, especially with the 4-stroke.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the other motor was driving me crazy. I was just having, it's an old motor. It's like 86.
Now if anything happens, I'll get an alert in my email.
Brandon put the motor on my boat, so he's done a real good job. And everything's nice and tidy. I got up in there and looked, and everything's all zip tied and the way things should be. Done a real good job, man, putting that on there.
He's a perfectionist. His OCD after a couple hundred rigs, he definitely brings us. He's the reason that you're coming here, believe it or not. So.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yep.
Well, I guess this is the guy you want.
You want
the motor on your boat, then.
Yep, you definitely want him doing the install. He does a great job for us. He's very, very, very conscious as far as he knows.
Yeah.
This is somebody's life,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yep.
I appreciate it. That's why I ended up here. I called all over the place, Jimmy. Before I dealt with you, and I called all over the place, and nobody comes close to what you can offer a person doing repowering a boat.
Well, we appreciate it, and that's what I always tell these guys. The boat you're installing an engine now, that's our business card. Because when you're out there, we want someone to say, "Oh my God, who rigged that?" Looking clean.
Absolutely.
You're out on the water every day without problem, instead of the, "Oh God, who installed that?" You're having to drag it out again. So thank you. That's kind of what his motto is too. Is let's make it look good, because you're going to be the guy that helps us sell the next one.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to get you out there, let people know you're up here in Port Clinton, do not fail to call Dubberts. You're going to see this stuff all up on the screen as you're watching this. So,
Yep.
like I said, I'm an hour and a half away. I would drive 4 hours to come here, just because of his word, because of Jimmy's word to begin with. So.
Well, you know, it's word of mouth anymore. You know, you got to treat everyone right, and that's kind of how we were raised. But you know, and if anything ever happens, we always say we think we got everything right. But if anything ever happens, you give me a call and we'll get you squared away right away. It's a boat. Things happen.
Yeah.
The general generic braking. We handle a lot of product lines, and every engine's a little different. And, you know, the automotive industry doesn't do braking anymore, but we do. So for the first hour of runtime, you want to get it at minimum planing speed. Get the boat up out of the water, get it enjoyable. You know, adjust the throttle every couple of minutes. It's not erratic driving. It's every time the song changes on the radio, adjust the throttle a couple of 100 RPM. Okay. And with that Vessel View Mobile and your smartphone on the dash, that'll help you to know that. It'll have a nice digital readout. After you get an hour of runtime on it, continue to adjust that throttle every several minutes. You can operate short bursts of wide open throttle, but normally operate between minimum planing speed and 3/4 for the remaining 9 hours, totaling 10 of braking. At 20 hours, you're going to do a fluids change, which is crankcase oil and filter, and your gear lube. That's your break-in service.
Okay.
After that initial 20-hour service is done, your maintenance schedule is every 100 hours or annually. You're going to continue to do your break-in. You're going to continue to do kind of what the break-in was. Crankcase oil filter and gear lube. You're going to replace that fuel filter up there. There's a fuel filter over in the motor. Okay. That should be replaced annually. Every third year or triannually, you're also going to do that maintenance again with the addition of spark plugs, water pump, thermostat, you know, all the big stuff, high pressure fuel filter, get this off without any problem. They've got a maintenance decal on the front of the motor. All of their motors have this. You scan that QC code with your smartphone. It takes you to a web page. It has videos if you're a do-it-yourselfer. It's the same videos that they orient the technicians with the new product. So you're able to see these are the parts, these are the part numbers, these are the torque specs. This is the procedure that Mercury recommends for doing all this stuff, because the common goal is that you get to spend more time on the water, right, and you know, maybe save some money, but at the long and the short of it is we want it done right. You know, they want it done right. So it's kind of cool. They're the only ones that are doing that, and that's on every engine that they sell. Moving around the motor, I kind of consider this the electrical side. The other side's more of the fuel side. You know, you got a voltage regulator. This is your charging system. This is the ignition coils moving over the spark plugs, your exhaust manifold, back of the motor, your valve cover, your crankcase oil fill. Over on this motor, this is an idle relief. This side of the motor, you got your overboard indicator letting you know that your water pump is functioning. Your dipstick for checking the engine oil level is over here. Your oil filter's over here. You got a little catch so you don't make a mess. When you change your engine oil, you can pull the filter off. Any residual will go into this little cavity here. You can wipe that out, put your new filter on, and there's no mess. The crankcase oil drain is a bleeder style. You just loosen that up a little, put the appropriate inside diameter hose on it, drain it into a bucket. Snug it up, don't over tighten it, because you can actually create a leak by over tightening it, crack the O-ring, crack the housing. But it's kind of cool where you can do an oil change while you're standing up quite quickly. And that fuel filter, I was commenting on that annual service guy, that low pressure filter's right here in that keeper. You know, other than that, you got your starter, you got your fuel injectors. Behind here is the fuel pump. Your ECM, all your critical stuff is right here. Your trip and tilt relays. You got a fuse panel up here. Fuse panel, it's more of a fuse dongle. But you got spare fuses inside of this cap. You know, what's fused are your dash, your fuel pump, you know, your ECM, your trip and tilt system, and all that. It's pretty much on the, as far as changing the gear lube, it's like any outboard you've ever had. You got 2 screws on the side of it, one at the bottom, one at the top. It's good shop practice to change the O-ring, the gasket every time you change your gear lube. You pull your bottom plug, pull your top plug, it all drops out, and then you fill it from the bottom until it comes up the top hole, so you get all the gear void out of there. That's pretty much on the engine side. The control's pretty self-explanatory. You got a lock bar so that you have to physically lift a bar to put it into gear. You know, your kid, you get into a rough water, they can't knock it in gear on accident. That's what that's about. You got a button in the middle of the handle that you push in if you wanted to advance the RPM. Fuel injected motor, you really don't have to do that, but it's there. Your trim switch is in the handle, and then your key switch and your safety lanyard are part of that handle and control too. You just, once again, kind of knocking on it. You should always wear your safety lanyard while running the boat when you're in gear or at plane. And that's kind of nice having that built right into a belt, you know, a nice belt loop on that lanyard for you too. Beyond that, that's pretty much everything about the engine and what we installed for you. He's got new fuel line in there going up to your fuel filter. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it gives you many, many years of good fun.
Now, I got a couple questions. So,
absolutely.
When I wanted to schedule all the things that you talked about being done to servicing and stuff, is that, do you schedule it, you're in and out the same day? How's that work?
We try to accomplish that on maintenance. One of the things I've learned over the years, one of the things that frustrates me with anything I own, I want my stuff done, and you're driving 3.5 hours round trip, let's say. You know, go do something nice, go have a lunch or whatever. An annual service we can definitely do as a bring and wait. The girls at the office do a great job, whether you call them. You know, email is also a nice way to make an appointment for that. I try to do it like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Fridays, and this is all year long. You bring the boat in the morning, 9, 10 o'clock. You're leaving with it about lunchtime. You know, maybe you couple it with a nice fishing trip up here. The water's
I come
open.
to Sandusky Bay. I catfish Sandusky Bay. So
there you go.
Me and the wife, we come up here and we take vacation.
Yep.
So that'd be a good time to do that because we're like Huron River. We're going to go hit the Huron River next year when next year comes around. So yeah, it'd be a good time to do scheduling and stuff. Because I'm no mechanic. That's what you're for.
It's
I'm going to use
maintenance.
this guy.
we appreciate it too. It's easy maintenance. But yeah, like I said, give us a couple of days notice and we can get you in and out of here quite quick. They'll use it right afterwards, use it beforehand, whatever. But if we schedule it right, yeah, my whole goal is I don't want a boat sitting here for a week and a half for an oil change. You know, let's get it in and out of here and turn it.
That's what I was wondering about. Like like you just said, I can come up here, do a little vacation, have it with me the whole time anyway, because that's what I'm coming for. Have you do your service while we're here. Done and out.
And the same thing goes, if anything happens, I always stress this, and it might sound like a chicken little. If anything ever happens, you got my number. They do a great job in the office, these guys do a great job in the shop, but I want to make sure you're getting what you pay for. So if something happens, even if it's as silly as, hey, you know, you put a 15-pitch prop on it, I don't think it's right, I'm hitting a rev limiter, or I'm bogging down at 4,500 RPM, just give me a shout, you know, send me a message, we'll get you squared away. Props are, you know, set up. It's everything can be done quite quickly if we run into an issue. But it's kind of doubling down on that whole maintenance thing. The same thing happens. If somebody that bought an engine from us has a problem on the water, I want that. The best thing I can do to make light of that problem, whether it's a manufacturer problem or it's my problem, get it done now. You come in, we get it fixed, we get you out of here, we get the prop adjusted. You get run into a big thing lately, it seems like lately, water and fuel. We get a lot of that because I don't know if it's a gas dock thing, I don't know what.
Right.
But that's something that we can fix quite simple, quite quick. Get it in here, give me an hour with it, we get the water out of the system, boom, you're back on the water, so to speak. And that's kind of our thing is with maintenance, with light, troubleshooting, we can get that in and out of here quick for you. That's our appreciation. You know, you didn't buy it to have problems, you bought it to have fun.
Exactly. Yeah, that's some great stuff. Now I want to go over to what Jimmy does here. You specialize in repowering boats.
We do a couple hundred a year. Yep, we do that. We kind of have a couple of different gears. Our business model. We don't sell boats. Tried boat sales, but I'm not good at it. But with engines, I got a mechanical background. With engines, that's something we can do because there's a lot of value. You know, you look at a new boat that's $100,000, and you know, for 10 grand, 12 grand, I can make a great boat. Many more years put back into it. So that's kind of what we do is we niche on the let's fix it up, let's put some bottom paint on it, let's detail it, new electronics, new engine, you know, the widgets and what's it's around the boat, updating bilge pumps, you know, all the things that age and would need updated. So that's kind of what we're about, is taking an older boat and bringing many years of life in it for the value that it is. And then what the other side of our business is we have a storage yard. Up here in the Great Lakes and around the Workland area, we have a lot of boats that come out of the water all winter. So they got to go somewhere. So we'd like to think they should come here, and you know, we got a couple storage buildings and some outside acreage that we shrink wrap, and gives us an opportunity to keep these guys moving all winter, and gives the boat an opportunity to live a little bit better of a life in a protected, climate controlled, or you know, a secure storage. So you don't have to worry about it. We will.
That's awesome. Awesome. Just what brands of motors do you sell?
We currently handle, in alphabetical order, we are an Evinrude service dealer. Hopefully they come back. That was a disappointment. We handle Honda, we handle Mercury, we handle Tohatsu, and we handle Yamaha. We handle pretty much all of them at this point. We've got everything covered from 2.5 horse on up to 600 horsepower. You know, everything's 4-stroke at this point. And a lot of it is, you know, also the service that goes with it, being able to have qualified technicians for all the products too that we handle.
Wow, that's a lot of service you get out of one place.
We try, and then on the other side of the house, we don't talk about it too much anymore, but we have, you know, the MR Diesel, and then we also do Merc Cruiser and Volvo and Pleasure Craft Marine, which are the inboard, you know, brands that are out there. But outboards is kind of where we geared. We did a transition in the last couple of years, and outboards took over our industry. They get you a long season, the maintenance is better. There's everything that you want with a recreational hobby the outboard provides.
Right. Wow. Such a great place to come, guys. Again, if you have to drive 4 hours to come here, do it. Do it, because it's going to be worth it in the long run to deal with Jimmy Dubert up here at Dubberts Outdrive.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure, man.